Imagine being able to say something so subtle, so smooth, that it cuts straight through surface-level chatter and creates an instant connection. Not just interest, not just attraction, but a sense that you see her in a way most never do. Sounds powerful, right? Well, here's the truth. The words you choose reflect the depth of your mind and the strength of your presence. Say the right thing with the right energy, and you can spark something that lingers in her thoughts long after the conversation ends. Today, I'm going to share 6 subtle phrases rooted in philosophical and psychological insight that can create magnetic attraction and emotional connection without trying too hard. These aren't cheesy pickup lines. These are psychological triggers in disguise. And trust me, the last one, it's bold, mysterious, and most men would never dare to say it. Let's dive in. Phrase 1. You don't talk like most people. I respect that. There's a quiet kind of power in this phrase, one that slips beneath the surface and lingers in the space between words. When you say, you don't talk like most people, you're doing something most never do. You're seeing her. Not her appearance, not her charm, but her mind. You're noticing the way her thoughts unfold, the way she speaks with intention rather than noise. Maybe it's how she pauses before she responds, or how her words carry weight instead of fluff. It's rare, like hearing a familiar song played in a completely new key, and then you follow it with, I respect that. That's when it lands. You're not giving empty praise or trying to impress. You're offering something far more valuable, recognition. Stoics believed respect was not something to be demanded, but earned and freely given to those who reflect depth, integrity, and presence. This phrase does exactly that. Use it when she shares an insight that makes you stop and think. When she speaks with passion or conviction, lean in, really listen, then say it, calmly, deliberately. It tells her, I'm not here for shallow games, I'm here for something real. And in a world full of noise, that kind of clarity is unforgettable. Phrase 2. You seem like someone who doesn't settle, am I right? This phrase doesn't flatter, it resonates. It's not about beauty or charm, it's about character. It cuts through superficial compliments and goes straight for the core. When you say this, you're not just making conversation, you're reading her essence. You're acknowledging the fire in her eyes, the confidence in her tone, the way she speaks with purpose instead of passivity. Think about it. How often does someone stop and recognize the standard a woman holds for her life? Her ambition, her boundaries, her refusal to shrink herself to fit in. And here's where the magic lies. It's a question, not a statement. You're not labeling her, you're inviting her to claim it. If she is that kind of woman, your words will feel like a mirror held up to her soul. She'll feel seen, not just noticed. And if she's not quite there yet, she might feel a subtle challenge, a quiet push to rise into the version of herself she secretly longs to be. That's what makes this phrase powerful. It plants a seed of reflection, of identity, of deeper meaning. And in a world drowning in shallow talk, that kind of depth, it's magnetic. Phrase 3. You carry yourself like someone who's been through a lot, but didn't let it break them. This isn't just a phrase, it's a mirror. One that reflects a truth most people hide beneath polished smiles and casual conversations. We all carry unseen scars, battles fought in silence, heartbreaks endured without applause, chapters closed without closure. And yet, few ever hear someone acknowledge that quiet strength. So when you say this, you're not intruding, you're recognizing. You're telling her, I see the fire behind your calm, the storm you've weathered without complaint. It's not about knowing the details. It's about honoring the journey. Picture this. She mentions a tough year, a career shift, a loss. Her voice steady, her eyes betraying something deeper. That's your moment. Deliver this phrase with calm certainty and sincere eyes. It tells her she's not defined by what hurt her, but by how she rose from it. And that level of awareness, that builds emotional trust. It makes her feel safe, understood, respected, not just admired. In a world obsessed with surface-level attraction, this is how you forge something real, something unforgettable. Because in that moment, you're not just a man, you're the one who finally sees her. Phrase 4. I don't chase. Connection either happens or it doesn't. This phrase doesn't beg for attention, it commands respect. It emerges from a place of grounded strength, echoing the Stoic ideal of inner stability over external validation. It's not cocky, it's clear. In a world where people frantically swipe, text, and chase anything that looks like affection, this statement is a calm rebellion. You're not announcing indifference, you're revealing discernment. You're saying, I know my worth, I protect my peace, and I won't pursue something forced. Imagine you're at a candlelit bar having a deep conversation, and she asks what you're looking for. You lean in slightly, look her in the eye, and say it. I don't chase. Connection either happens or it doesn't. No games, no neediness. Just truth. It hangs in the air like a quiet challenge, a subtle dare. She might pause, smile, lean closer. Why? Because this energy is rare. It flips the dynamic from seeking approval to offering alignment. You're not trying to impress, you're inviting resonance. You become the calm center in a chaotic world, the man who doesn't chase chaos, because he already carries clarity. And that presence, that stillness, it draws her in without a word more spoken. Phrase 5. There's something wild in your calm, and I can't figure it out. This phrase is where poetry collides with psychology, and something electric happens. It's subtle, yet it cuts deep. When you say this, you're not just giving a compliment, you're offering a mirror that reflects a part of her she may not even be aware of. You're pointing out a paradox, the stillness on the surface and the storm underneath. It evokes a sense of mystery, an untamed energy that simmers beneath her composed exterior. She may appear poised, graceful, serene, but behind that calm, there's a fire, a sharpness, a rebel spirit that refuses to be tamed. And that contrast? It's magnetic. Why does this work so well? Because most women are constantly categorized: cute, hot, nice, confident. Labels. But mystery? Mystery leaves a mark. It lingers. It haunts, in the best way. This phrase invites her into curiosity. She'll wonder, what does he see in me that others miss? What did I do that made him say that? That question, that pause, is where the connection is born. It's not about praise, it's about seeing her differently, and that's unforgettable. Phrase 6. Most people are looking for attention. I look for presence. That's what caught me about you. This is the final one, and it's a quiet storm. A phrase that doesn't scream to be heard, but instead sinks deep, like a whispered truth. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it carries weight, the kind that lingers long after the moment has passed. In today's world, where likes, views, and constant validation dominate our lives, everyone seems to be performing. People curate their personalities like social media feeds, constantly broadcasting, constantly seeking. But presence, true, grounded, undivided attention, that's rare, that's sacred. So when you say, I look for presence, you're doing something few dare to do. You're rejecting the noise. You're saying, I see something deeper in you, something unfiltered, something real. It's a powerful message, one that cuts through the surface-level masks most people wear. It tells her she stood out not because of how she looked or what she said, but because of how she showed up in that moment. Fully, authentically, calmly. And that kind of recognition? It elevates. It touches the soul. When delivered with quiet, confidence and steady eyes, it doesn't just compliment, it connects. It marks you as someone who doesn't just observe the world, but truly sees it. Conclusion. So there you have it. 6 transformative phrases, each drawn from the timeless wisdom of Stoic psychology and backed by modern psychological insights. These aren't just clever lines or words designed to impress. No, they are the very essence of truth in action. They go beyond surface-level charm. They tap into something deeper, a profound awareness of the moment, the strength of presence and the power of intentional connection. Imagine saying something that cuts through the noise of small talk, drawing someone into a conversation that feels meaningful, real. It's like a shift in the air where the usual pretense falls away and a raw, authentic energy rises to the surface. Picture the next time you speak to someone, your words are not just sounds, they are a mirror reflecting both their soul and yours. You're no longer just conversing, you're connecting, you're understanding. Now ask yourself, what would your life look like if every conversation had this depth? How much more meaningful would your relationships be if you consistently spoke with purpose, clarity, and emotional presence? So take these phrases, wield them wisely, and watch as your interactions and the way people respond to you transform. If you felt something stir inside as you listened, if this resonated with you on a deeper level, don't just let it fade away. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe for more insights into the psychology of connection, the art of attraction, and the philosophy that empowers you to lead with strength. Until next time, stay grounded, stay magnetic, and never stop seeking the deeper truths that connect us all.